Hello and welcome to a special celebration edition of the FM21 A-League Rundown on Football Manager 2021. As earlier this week, the Central Coast Mariners, managed by myself, won the A-League Premiership. Before we get to that, let's have a look back at all the other happenings in the Mariners' massive universe. We start, as always, with Adelaide United, and the Reds earned a 1-1 draw at Cooper Stadium against Western Sydney Wanderers. Carl Vert has been fielding questions around a potential move for midfielder Dom Costanzo to Punjab FC over in India. Interesting to note here that one of Carl Vert's favourite staff members is Ross Aloisi. Of course, Big John Aloisi is our assistant manager with the Central Coast Mariners. Brisbane Roar had Jack Hingett and Scott McDonald, he no longer in real life on for the Brisbane Parish, to thank for a 2-0 away win against Newcastle Jets. Jack Hingett with some pretty decent stats this season, 4 goals and 2 assists in 21 appearances. As you can see, Central Coast Mariners claimed the Premier's plate earlier this week. There was the small matter of a 4-0 loss to Western United, but we'll gloss over that. The board are ecstatic, the fans delirious, and even all-round good guy and Celtic FC midfielder Tom Rogic has been on the blower. We are also in for Curtis Good as we secure a key part to our defence for the coming season. This year, obviously, defence has been a bit of an issue still, even with the signing of George Niedermeyer. So hopefully, the signing of Curtis Good can go a long way to put that right. MacArthur FC boss Chris Taylor has been busy signing up players to new contracts, including Benyat, Liam Rose and Alexander Sushnar. The Bulls earned a credible 3-1 victory against Melbourne Victory, with goals coming from Benyat and 2 from this man, Matt Derbyshire. So he has another 2 goals to his name. He leaves the club's scoring charts with 12 goals in just 16 appearances. So a pretty good rating for the 35-year-old forward. Of course, over here in the UK, a former Blackburn Rovers player. Up here in the northwest in Lancashire. Adrian Luna got the only goal of the game as Melbourne City overcame Perth Glory at Amy Park. Now, been interesting this one because that goal seemingly earned Adrian Luna a new 4-year contract with the Citizens. 8 goals and 7 assists in 23 games for him. Pretty good, but it's a bit unheard of for a player to be earning a 4-year contract. Quite rare, I'd say, in the A-League. It seems that Scott Jamieson is set to leave Melbourne City. He will join Curtis Good, obviously, out the door at the season's end. Melbourne Victory were disappointing in their 3-1 loss to MacArthur FC at Campbelltown Stadium. Robbie Cruz's late goal, a mere consolation for the Big V. They slipped down to 4th in the table. Storm Roux could be on his way to Newcastle Jets, but Scott Miller, favoured personnel is Roy Hodgson, interestingly. I don't know where that story has come from, I'm afraid, but sporting a warm smile to the room of journalists. Perhaps he knows more than he's letting on. I would not be surprised to see Storm Roux back with an F3 club. Speaking of clubs down in the F3, in the Hunter, Newcastle Jets lost 2-0 to Brisbane Roar. That was at McDonald Jones Stadium. Questions being asked again this week whether Jason Hoffman is past his best. He has been in decent form for Newcastle Jets this season, but apparently should consider retiring gracefully. Whether that happens or not, that is yet to be seen. Media stipulation, perhaps not a great thing at the moment. Nigel Bogard, he has just picked up an ankle ligaments injury and will be out for 2 weeks. So in real life this weekend, Nigel Bogard returning to the Newcastle Jets team, but here in the Mariners' massive universe, he is out with an injury suffered in training. Perth Glory crashed to defeat at Amy Park with former potential Glory player Andrew Naboot, part of the City team. It was that goal from Adrian Luna which saw off the Glory as they visited Melbourne. Bit of an interesting story, of course, with Andrew Naboot and indeed Nathaniel Atkinson. Both agreed to move from Melbourne City. Nathaniel Atkinson agreed to move from Melbourne City, Naboot from Melbourne Victory over to Perth Glory, but due to the coronavirus pandemic, that was really curtailed. Atkinson ended up staying at City, Naboot joining him there, and of course in real life he has been absolutely on fire and fuego this season, certainly working in partnership with the awesome Jamie McLaren. Sydney FC are still without a manager, but they got a 1-1 draw against second place Wellington Phoenix there in Sydney. Anthony Caceres, often overlooked and dare I say underappreciated by the Sky Blues fans. He got the goal there just shy of the hour mark. Harry Kewell is the favourite for the job. He is 9-2 with the bookies to take over their Sydney FC. Still, I think, a big threat for the A-League Championship. They're currently 6th and they play ourselves, the Mariners, next week. So we've got a bit of a break, actually, 2 weeks before that game is played. So it'll be interesting to see whether Sydney are still a top 6 side by the end of the season. If they are, could be in line for the Championship. The wagons are circling around Wellington Phoenix striker Thomas Hemed. Bochum, Toulouse and Amiens in France have all made offers. Bochum, obviously a German club. Hemed, it seems, may have had a bit of a bust-up with manager Ufi Talai. The inability to offer a solution to help him play football has caused issues between them. Got to wonder whether that unrest will spread to his teammates. A senior figure, obviously, but now being talked about as possibly being dropped by Israel. So 7 goals, 2 assists this season. 6.89 his average rating, which isn't that great. It does seem as though, even with the Knicks up in second, perhaps Hemed hasn't been their star man. I would suspect it has been Ulysses De Villa. Same with James McGarry, possibly not getting into the New Zealand squad. Hasn't received a cap yet, 0 caps, 0 goals, 18 appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists. Not convinced that he deserves a call-up on recent form, according to Planet Football. So a bit of speculation there about the international contingent there at the Knicks. In terms of Western Sydney Wanderers, they are losing winger Nikolai Muller as he suffered a hip injury against Adelaide United. He'll be sidelined for at least 3 months, so season over for the German. Against Adelaide, it was that 1-1 draw. Michael Maria returning to face his former side. Javi Lopez and Dario Vidicic were on the score sheet in the 1-1 draw. The Reds hosting the red and black of the Wanderers there at Cooper's Stadium in the city of Churches. As far as Western United are concerned, they enjoyed a big 4-0 win over the Mariners, the Premiership winners, with Andrew Durante, Alessandro Diamante, Connor Payne and big game Bessart Barisha getting the goals. Diamante a deserved player of the match with a goal and 2 assists. Now, the Western United job is still available. As you can see, Phil Stubbins has been talking up his chances in the media, has been reportedly interviewed, as has This man, Alistair Edwards, currently Johor Australian Director of Football. Interesting. He has been interviewed for the post. However, can tell you that Carl Robinson remains the favourite for that role. So whether he takes over the Welshman, that would be, of course, his third A-League club, having previously managed Newcastle Jets and the Wanderers themselves. In terms of the table, you will see champions in terms of the Premiership, Central Coast Mariners at the top. So first past the post, 52 points to our name. I mean, compare that to Perth Glory down at the bottom with 12. Still getting interesting around sort of 3rd to probably 10th, to be honest. I wouldn't rule out Western United just yet. So there seems to be about 8 points in it between Brisbane Roar and the Green and Black. So could see some movement in the coming few weeks. Not all teams play this coming weekend. Teams that have played 24 games sort of step out for the weekend as the others just catch up. This will be, of course, evident in the fixtures. Starts on Friday with Friday football. Brisbane Roar host Melbourne City. So top 6 implications there. Same with Western Sydney Wanderers and MacArthur. Both will want those points in order to put the pressure on Sydney FC. Sunday, we've got Adelaide United against Newcastle Jets. Western United host Perth Glory. As a result, there will be an edition of the Mariners Massive, but obviously there will not be a game. There will be some other special look behind the scenes at the club. We'll have a look at the finances, have a look at the transfers, the future signings for us, and just how it's gone in terms of the schedule and competition. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you again on Thursday.